Ahoy there, captains. This is the Absent, and let me help you get started with CryptoBay. So, to start playing, all you need to do is first go to the website, cryptobay.vip, and from here, click on Marketplace. You should load the marketplace where you could buy your first ship. Right now, the mystery box has already been sold out, and you could no longer buy a ship. And you would need to buy the ship from another ship owner who has already opened the box. A good way of starting off would be to pick a ship that has a decent speed that would help you level up your ship and win your adventures. So let's just wait for this to load. Now, a good way to filter would be to click on stats, pick a speed that's high enough. I would suggest at least 10, 12 would be ideal. Um, a good amount of skill would also be useful so that your ship would regen energy faster. And choose between attack or moral, whichever one you would prefer. And once you've filtered the ships, you could click on the tab here to switch to the lowest price and start scouting any of the ships that are available for sale, and then buy the one that you feel would win and, well, probably with the appearance that you prefer. Once you have bought the ship, you'd want to go back to the main website and click on Play Now or the Play to Earn ship will over there, and that would load the main website. From here, I would suggest that you click on Fight for the easiest pirate here, Pirate 1, the very weak pirate, since it has the lowest stats, so your chances of winning would be higher. And I would also suggest that if you're doing your fights, you do multiples of one uh, um several times instead of doing high multiple fights, since that would cost you in pearl but would save you on gas. Also, if you have a weak ship, your chances of winning would be increased by having more attempts. Now once you have done um doing your fights, all you have to do is check for your energy recovery. As you can see, this is a very bad ship, but due to leveling to level 5, you get to upgrade your ship and add 1 to each of the stats, and you'd have 3 stat points to distribute. And once you've upgraded it, it would become stronger and you'd win more fights. Another thing to take note is that each fight would cost you durability, and you'd have to repair your ship once it hits 0. Doesn't really matter if your durability is low, it doesn't affect your win rate. But once your durability hits 0, you won't be able to use your ship and you'd have to repair. Repair costs pearl. The value of the pearl right now affects the cost of the repair. And right now it's 0.25 pearl per 1 durability. So a total of 25 pearl for 100 durability. As the pearl price goes up, the number of pearls needed goes down. And what else do you need to know? In the marketplace, common questions are, what are eudaimons? So let me explain that as well. So right now there are no eudaimons for sale. So eudaimons are flying ships, and they are called eudaimons because they have one of the rare parts in this ship. It's the Cerberus part, and that rare part gives you 20 stat on that corresponding location. So kill is for skill. Cerberus part is on kill, so it gives it 20 skill. Aside from that, Eudaimon ships have special abilities that will come into play later, including um, additional chances for skill when doing arena. The other common question that is often asked is, what is pureness for? Pureness counts the number of same dinosaur parts that your ship has. Right now, only dinosaur parts have more than one. So for this ship, it has two Spinosaurus parts, so its pureness is two. Highest pureness is three, I believe. There hasn't been a four pureness ship yet, and there has not been a Eudaimon ship with more than one Eudaimon part yet. But that may change once shipbuilding starts. Now, another thing you have to take note is that when you're doing adventure, you'd have to pay for gas fees on the BNB network. On the BNB network, the gas fee changes depending on the rate of gas for the BNB network. So it would be best to have BNB stored on your wallet for fights. When you win a fight, you get a certain number of pearls per win and a offset amount of pearls. So right now, the win gives you 1.5 pearls, loses or gas offset is 2 pearls. So if you win, you get 3.5 pearls. If you lose, you only get 2. If you do multiple fights, gas offset is only triggered once since you're doing multiples. So if you win 2 fights, you'd get 3 pearl from the win and 2 offset gas. And that would be a total of 5 pearls. And if you lose on your multiple of 2, you'll still get only 2 pearls instead of 4. So if you want to farm pearls, doing 1x fights would be ideal. Now, um, the only feature available is the adventure mode, which I've shown you would trigger you to fight. So let me demonstrate what it looks like. So for this particular ship, since I have low speed, I still go and fight the weakest ship. Gives me the highest chance of winning. And if I click on fight, it would prompt the gas, which is 36 cents. And I'll explain how the fight happens. So it's taking a bit of time. So you have six stats altogether. Space controls the base amount of energy. Speed controls who attacks first in adventure mode. So for this instance, the pirate, I lost speed and shield. I lose this fight, but I'll explain that later. Um, let's move on to skill. Skill controls your energy regen on adventure. It is the heal skill during arena. The defense stat controls the shield skill, whether or not you trigger the shield. Attack triggers the torpedo, and morale triggers missile. So attack and morale are the same technically, since both attacks ignore shield in adventure mode. So even if I get shield, since the enemy gets torpedo and attacks first, I lose. But if the enemy gets no torpedo and no missile, and I have a shield, the enemy would be doing a normal attack, and since I have a shield, that attack would not push through. And since a pirate does not have any shield, even if I attack it with normal attack, I do win this fight. Unfortunately, the pirate does have torpedo, so I'm about to get hit with a torpedo and sink and lose this fight. And I get the gas offset, which is 2 pearls, and that's how you determine whether or not you win. Now, in arena mode, this stats function differently. I'd probably make a different video for that once arena comes out. But for now, speed is the best stat for adventure, since attacking first greatly increases your chances. The only way you'd lose if you win speed is if you don't get attack or moral, and the enemy has defense or shield. Now, if you win speed and the enemy does not get shield, you automatically win. If you don't get speed and the enemy attacks first, pray that the enemy does not get a torpedo or missile and that you get shield. And that's the only way you'll win. Now, Pearl is the reward of the game. Um, you could only withdraw Pearl every 15 days from the time you earn Pearl or the time you play. And once you claim the Pearl, it goes to your wallet and the lock in period of 15 days starts all over again. Now, once you have claimed your Pearl, it's already in your wallet. You'd be able to use it for repairs, for upgrade. However, since you'd hit level 5 before you are able to claim your pearls, it would be best to buy pearls so that you could upgrade your ship before the 15-day period. Now, durability on the other hand, as you can see here, ship starts with 100 durability. This specific ship has fought 53 times, and since I have an energy recovery of 3.4, that gives me somewhere around 6 hours for every fight. So I'm able to do 4 fights a day. In 15 days, that would be 60 fights. So as you can see, at this energy level, I would be able to claim the pearl before my durability runs out. The highest I've seen for recovery would be 6. 6 recovery is um around 5 to 6 fights a day. And even at 6 fights times 15, that's still 90 durability. And you'd still be able to repair your ship once. You'd still have your claim before your ship runs out of durability. So that's nothing to be worried about. Now, once you hit higher levels, you gain stats, as I've mentioned earlier, every 5 levels. Aside from that, the enemies also increase in strength. The rewards are also um, for XP changes. So at level 1, all enemies are 1 XP. At my current level, level 5, the weakest enemy is 1 XP. Pirate 2 is 2 XP. Pirate 3 is 3 XP. At level 6, if I remember correctly, the very weak is already 2 XP, or if it's level 7. So as you become stronger, the amount of XP you gain increases. And as you become stronger, you're able to fight stronger enemies. And stronger enemies give more pearl. So in time, you'd be earning more pearl than you're currently earning. At the very start, it would be just ideal to level your ship and get as much strength as possible so that you win as many fights and ensure that you get the XP to level up. Even if there's gas offset, it would greatly delay your progress in the game if you don't hit your XP marks or you don't get any levels. Now, give me a moment. Now, for the ships you buy in the marketplace, um, any ship that a ship owner sells reverts back to level 1. So all ships you buy in the marketplace are level 1 ships. Their stats are what their stats are for level 1. And the, the only difference is that if the owner has already used the ship and the durability is low, when you buy the ship, it would still have the same durability. It doesn't reset back to 100. Another thing to note about durability is that it doesn't regenerate. You'd have to repair to gain back durability. It doesn't recover over time. The other common question about ships is what is the class all about? The class is determined by the highest stat of the ship. So this is an assault class because it has the highest morale. Its highest stat is the morale stat. And space is transport. Speed, I believe, is destroyer. Let's just check. So this one's a cruiser. Cruisers are skill, and destroyers are speed. So their highest stat is speed. Warships are attack, and assault is moral. Transport. Frigate is defense. So if you click on frigate, their highest stat is the defense stat. Right now, that does not really affect anything in the game except determining what the highest stat is. But in the future, it may play a role. One of the features that's coming up would be trading, where you might be carrying goods in your ship and the space stat might be valuable. That's all to be determined once it's announced. But right now, it does not affect the gameplay. All right, so for the next part of the ship, you can see here that this ship has a dismantle count. Dismantle is how new ships will be built. Right now, from what we know, you would need three ships to build one ship, and every time you build a ship using this ships, it adds to the dismantle amount, and the cost of pearl to build the ship increases as the dismantle count increases. All ships right now are origin ships since we are in. There has been no ships that have been built by players, and all origin ships have infinite dismantle counts. That is one of the advantages of owning an origin ship here. Normal ships, once they are built, only have seven dismantle counts. However, if you think about it, as the dismantle count increases, the price of building the ship increases. So at a certain point, it would be quite expensive to build a new ship using the same origin ships. So if you're in the 20th mark, 30th mark, it might be a ridiculous amount. And if you build that ship, it might not be easy to sell and recover the cost. So you might want to use newer ships to make um you might want to use your newly built ships to make new ships or purchase other origin ships that have zero dismantle counts so that to save on cost. And another thing about shipbuilding, when you build a new ship, 30% of the stats are inherited, 70% are random. By inherited, so that means stronger ships would initially give um, higher stats at the start, plus the 70% which is random. So breeding high stat ships would more than likely produce high stat ships as well. Choosing a low stat ship, the inherited stat of the inherited low stat would remain plus the random stat. So it might still be stronger, but chances are to be of lower quality. Another part of shipbuilding is that 1 in 10,000, there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that a Udemon part would appear. So as of now, there are 34 Udemons. Just check. 32 Udemon ships in the entire game out of 52,000 ships. But once shipbuilding comes, sooner or later, this number will increase. And last but not least, another common question is what's the return on investment or the times the time period. This is a complex issue, but right now, ROI for people who are just joining in would be around 100 days. For people like us who've started the game earlier, we've more than likely recovered our costs already. So as you can see here, I have 224 pearl on this ship, which I bought a few days after I started. When I decided I wanted to have more ships, so my main ship has farmed more pearl, and the price of the pearl right now is 20 cents. And as the price of pearl increases, our already farmed pearl increases in value. By the time we claim, we'd have our ROI already. But that does not mean it is not a good time to enter the game, since you could still farm a good amount of pearl, and the price is slowly increasing but has not reached its peak yet. So there's a lot of value to be had, and the system is very good. It does not allow for the oversaturation of the pearl. There's a lot of use cases for pearl to burn it, from repairing your ship, upgrading your ship, to shipbuilding, upgrading the harbor, repairing the harbor, and so on. You could check this all in the wiki. Now, just a side note, um, ships have this button called return. If you click that, it just returns you to the port, and you click sail, it returns you back. This is often asked what that button is for. Once you have a harbor, you're able to have three ships, and that option to sail would be the way you would set your active ship for adventure or arena. And right now, since you only have one ship, you could just play with your ship and move it back and forth. Now, um, another thing to note is that all the ships here in the marketplace that are on the for sale list, these are the only ships available at the moment. So at the most, only 849 players would be able to play. And once the harbor is released, the fastest at level 1, the shipbuilder could only build a ship in 6 days. So once harbor is released, there is at least 6 days before a new ship arrives. That's not accounting for the wood element, since crafting requires both pearl and wood, which is farmed by harbor owners. We have no details on how that's going to be implemented yet, but it's coming out soon. So if you want to play the game at a low cost, now is the time. And moment. And once the ships are gone, you'd have to wait for new ships to be created. This is one way that this game is controlling the oversaturation. If there are too many ships, there will be too much pearl on the market and not enough burning it. And right now, with the auction of the harbor, which comes in 2 days, um, there will only be 100 harbors that will be sold in the first auction, and it will only that would mean that only 100 people would be able to build ships initially. More harbors would be sold in the future, but right now, the number of new players are being controlled by this system, and this is to prevent the uncontrollability of the economics of the game, the pearl. This is the reason why many games are declining, because they have very high ROI and they are unable to sustain that growth. At the same time, their tokens are oversaturated, since they are generated too fast, faster than they are burned. In this game, you earn a bit of money, and it's still better than other investments. At least you know that this game would last longer. If you have questions, just post in the comments below, and I'll try to make a video about it as well. Hope that helps. Have a great day, Captains.